Hey everybody, welcome to the Legends Lab. And I don't even know what to call this. We haven't done this before. I've got the Get You Some radio show, and I'm used to doing that. But this is a Legends Lab exclusive. My buddy Laurie Delk is on here with me today. Hi, Laurie. Say hi.
Hi,
we were going to do this live, but I'm not technologically proficient enough to narrow that down, and I didn't want any hiccups in there. So we're recording this right now, and I'm going to upload it to the Legends Lab in just a little bit. And what happened was Laurie and I were having coffee last week, and she started talking about some presentations that she's been doing around the country for organizations of all different types, all different kinds, all different sizes. She works a lot with real estate agents, but she works with everyone. And she has a great presentation about doubling your business, building better relationships, and keeping those clients. And she volunteered to come into the Legends Lab and do that presentation. And I'm easy. If somebody offers free stuff, I'm all about it. Bring it on. So Laurie, like I said, she's one of my best friends. We've been here in Nashville. She hosts the Nashville Networking Luncheons, and she has about a dozen of these that she does every month all around the Nashville area. I've been doing them for years and years and years. She's connected to everyone. She's the author of Keep Those Clients, which is an Amazon best-selling book, and she's a relationship marketing and network marketing expert. So I'm going to turn it over to her and let her just run away with it. But I got one question for her before we start, because this is something I found fascinating. About half of the Legends Lab members are automotive salespeople. That's my background. I've been working in the car business for 30 years. So about half of our members are people who sell cars for a living. And I've been to a bunch of Laurie's meetings, and I've been to a bunch of other networking meetings and Rotary clubs and rubber chicken dinners and all of this stuff. And I never see any car dealers there. Never see any car salespeople there. And I asked Laurie, so you've been doing this, how long have you been doing these, Laurie?
15 years.
So 15 years. She's been doing 15 years. She's got 6 different events she does all around Nashville. How many times have you met a car salesperson at one of your networking meetings?
One has come one time to one meeting.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard, because every person there drove a car to get there. Every person there is going to be in the market for a car at some point in the near future. Every person there knows, or not every person, but at least 1/3 of everyone in that room knows someone who's in the market for a car this month. And every person there is expecting you to pitch them on who you are, what you sell, how you can help them, and put a business card in their hand. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, and nobody comes to do it. So I'm going to let Laurie run away with her presentation on keeping clients, doubling your income, making better relationships, and just keep in mind what she does. And if you can make more friends, you can sell more cars. Laurie, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to click to share my screen really quick here.
And I'll sing and dance or something while you're doing that, so we can keep everyone entertained. She's
Right.
got puppies there, Will.
Okay, there we go. So can you see my screen good?
There you go. You're good to go, Laurie. Take it away.
Okay, awesome. So this presentation is how I teach people to double your business in 1 year. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, if you follow my steps and the actions that I teach you, you can double your business or even more within 1 year. And even if you apply that the end of this year, you can still do it by the end of the year. So even though we're almost at the end of the year, we've got 3 months left. Still, if you get busy and apply that action, you can do it. And so the biggest thing is what I always say is, doesn't matter what coach you have or who teaches you what or how much you pay any coach, if you don't actually apply what you've been taught, then it's not going to work, right? No matter how good that coach is. And so that is the biggest thing. So I've worked with clients for the last 15 years. This is just a little bit of my accolades. Terry told you a lot about me already. Short answer, I own 5 businesses and 3 nonprofits, and 3 of those businesses are 6-figure incomes individually. And so I don't say that to brag. I say that just to let you know that I know what I'm talking about and I've done it. And so that's where I can help you with this. And so what is relationship marketing? Relationship marketing is a relationship management strategy designed to encourage long-lasting connections to your brand. You want to build you, not whatever company you work for, not what product you sell, or what organization you sell, or if you sell Toyota cars or Nissan cars or whatever, you want to build you because customers buy you. The goal is to turn your prospects into customers that generate repeat sales and encourage word of mouth promotion. In other words, referrals, right? And so here's just a few alarming statistics. The number one reason a customer does not come back to you is they simply forgot about you. You didn't keep in touch with them. 95% of your happy customers will purchase from a competitor on an impulse. Another dealership is offering a special that week or whatever, you know, they'll go somewhere else if you have not built that relationship. And for every month that you don't communicate with your customers and clients, you lose 10% of your influence with them. So like car salespeople, you know, people normally buy cars once every 2 to 5 years. But still, if you don't keep in touch with them every month in some sort of fashion, you're going to lose your influence over them. And so here's a case study for a professional organizer. Somebody said, I wish I had known you were still in the area since I never heard from you after we finished working together last time. I assumed that you had moved away or were doing something else. I just hired another organizer to do some work with me, and I was not nearly as happy with her work as I was with yours. So the same thing, because she just forgot about her, you know? People, if you don't keep in touch, are they going to remember you? Are you going to come up in their Google search when they look? Or are they going to remember where they crammed your business card, right? If you keep in touch, then they're going to remember you. So if you do a good job, good business ethics, all that stuff, then you keep in touch also, then they're going to remember you. So, and one thing is a lot, are you looking for clients in the wrong places? Hint, they're already in your backyard. So we've done lots of different studies with people in all kinds of industries all across the board. And if you take 1,000 people and you do a marketing message to them 1 or 2 times in a year, as opposed to if you take 100 people of your friends, family, clients, people that you already know that are already in your backyard and nurture them once a month, every single month, you're going to have a lot more results from those. So I'm going to go through a few tips that are tips and ideas and things that are in my book, Keep Those Clients. One is simply pick up the phone and call somebody to connect. So pay attention when you're talking on the phone. Alertness is the most fundamental element of a relationship building process. So when you pay attention to every detail of your conversation, you'll notice ways that you can advance that communication. You wouldn't look at your computer screen if you were sitting face to face with a customer, right? So don't do it while you're on the phone. And the same thing when you're reading an email from a customer, give it your full attention, discerning exactly what your customer wants to say to you. There's so many times when I get emails back from other companies that I deal with that I can tell they did not read what I sent to them because of their response. If they would have actually read it word for word and paid attention, they wouldn't have given me that cached response. So think about the conversation. An email dialogue should be a real dialogue, not just trading of electronic monologues. So an email conversation might happen over a number of days, some iterations, but be sure to keep that thread of that conversation strong, even through a long chain of emails. And so explore and heighten when you're on the phone, but especially by email. It's harder to identify issues that your customer really cares about. So try extra hard to explore and discover the things that really matter to your customer. And then heighten that conversation by focusing on the details of what that customer wants and cares about. So for example, in cars, one of the things, I drive an expedition, the extended cab. And when I was shopping for my last one, I told him I wanted 22-inch chrome wheels. I did not want the sunroof, and I did not want the DVD players. And I wanted black on black, and because I was getting it painted hot pink. And so then the black on the inside would go neat together with it, right? And so And he came back with a couple other options, and I said, no, this is what I want. And this is what you can find me if you want me to upgrade. And so pay attention to what people say and what they're wanting. Sometimes they're able to compromise, and sometimes, like in my situation, I didn't want to compromise. I wanted what I wanted. So focus on the conversation on the customer, often short written communications where people conserve time and space by focusing on communicating the information about themselves or their offerings. But one of the surest ways to lose someone's attention is talking a ton about yourself. So be sure to focus on the subject of the matter, which is the conversation of the customer and what they care about. You know, like Maya Angelou says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. They don't care what all the things that you know and what you're great about and what all your accolades are. They want to know what you can do for them and how much you care about them. And so use callbacks to continue conversation. So a callback is a reference to a topic that might have came up earlier in a conversation. So like comedy writers use callbacks a lot of times to get laughs, but you can use them to keep your customer engaged in your remote conversation. And referencing things that your customer told you in earlier conversations communicates that you were paying attention and helps you tie your conversation together. So one thing in the customer relationship marketing manager tool that I use, there's a note section. And anytime before I call a client, I pull up their account, I look at what I talked to them about last. And when I get off the phone or when I get done with a visit with them, I go into my account, I put in today's date, and I write a little bit of information about what we talked about in that day's date. So that way it reminds me of exactly how often I've kept in touch with that client, how I kept in touch with them, whether it was email, text, in person, on the phone, and a little bit about what we talked about. And then another thing is if you're at home or in your office on the phone, put a mirror on your desk. You can't see your customer's face when you're on the phone or writing an email, but if you can see your own face, you'll remember what this is all about. It's human conversation, right? So like right here, I have a mirror on my desk. So I practice what I preach. The goal of every customer interaction is to build relationships. You want to look at those remote communications as another set of opportunities to build that customer relationship. It's a challenging way to build a relationship, but imagine the dividends if you manage to do so. If you just build those relationships, that's all that matters, and people will continue to do business with you. 67% of business today is driven by personal referral and word of mouth. So that's one thing I always say, whenever I'm looking for something, I get referrals. I never Google it. So I was looking for an acupuncturist a couple months ago, and what do? You post on social media, right, for your influence. And I said, attention, Nashville, who knows an acupuncturist? And I got back several different comments, and I've been going to a girl for the last couple months from one of those referrals. So, but she came from that personal referral. So that's, people do that. So the more you keep in touch with your customers and clients, the more you're going to get that chance to get their referrals from their sphere of influence. So what are you doing to attract those referrals? And what are you doing to maintain your customer loyalty? 91% of customers say that they would give referrals, but 80% have not been encouraged to do so, and only about 11% of salespeople actually ask for them. So, but one of the age-old questions is to ask or to not to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get, right? One of the things I teach is don't ask for the referrals, just deserve them. So some different ways that I did it. I became more intentional about getting to know people as people. I made them feel valued by expressing appreciation, remembering people's birthdays, anniversaries, keeping in touch, getting with them on social media and finding things when they celebrate things and sending them information in the mail and maybe a congratulations card if somebody won an award or something like that. I build a know, like, and trust relationship, and I keep in touch with them and increase that top of mind awareness so I am remembered. And so networking, some tips in my book, Keep Those Clients. Network with those who are doing what you want to do, and soon you'll be doing it too. And one thing is, if you're the role model that everybody looks up to in your network, it might be time to just upgrade your network a little bit too. And collect and record information about people you meet. Lots of people go to networking events and to different events all the time, and they get people's business cards. And what do they do with them? They come home and they put them on their desk, and eventually they go to the trash, but they don't do anything with them, right? So especially if you are networking, you need to network. So if you just go to networking meetings and meet people and then do nothing, that's just socializing. That's not networking. So, and the size of your network determines the size of your net worth. And that's not just all your contacts. That's all your contacts as you build and nurture that network of relationships. And so once again, evaluate the people in your life. Promote, demote, or terminate. You're the CEO of your life. So this isn't to say that like you say that you're better than anybody else. I don't believe in that. We're all made out of the same dirt. But you know, if you want to increase your atmosphere and the people around you, sometimes you need to edit people and things in your life. And so it doesn't matter how much someone knows, likes, and trusts you if they don't remember you when they're ready to make that buying decision or even refer you to someone else. So how are you staying top of mind? So here's an example also. Another tip, I take out my phone every day and I text 10 people a short and sweet message just to keep in touch. And so it doesn't have to be long. It takes me 5 minutes to do this every single day, tops. So like here's one that's an example I sent to Brandy. Hey, sweets, I hope you're having a wonderful week. She replies back, hey, Laurie, yes, I am. Thank you. I hope you are having an awesome week as well. So the same thing, it's just keeping in touch. And don't delete your text, because a lot of people tell me that they delete text. And I say, don't do that, because you can go back and see when the last time you talked to them. So I can look back like just a couple weeks before that, you know, I texted her and said, hey, we should meet up for lunch or dinner sometime soon. And she said, yes, ma'am, we do. When is good for you? And so we made an appointment and we met. So the same thing, it was just to meet up and build that relationship and keep in touch. So keep an ongoing chat for updates and to keep in touch with each other's lives. If you have an open text message chat, that's a great way to keep in touch. You can both reply when you have free time, but you keep each other updated in your day-to-day life. In this case, neither of you feel pressured if you're too busy to respond. You just respond whenever you have a free moment. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So it's the better you are at mastering relationships, the better you will be at thriving in your personal and business life. So people can find out anything that they want online, and they can buy anything they want online. It doesn't matter what you sell, right? It doesn't matter what product you sell or what service you sell or anything. They can buy it from somebody else online. So why should they buy from you? You need to differentiate yourself by showing people how much you care and build those relationships. So if you're doing the same thing as all your competitors, then how are you going to be different, and why should they buy from you? So we help you differentiate yourself so you are no longer competing. People are going to go to you even if your price is higher. It doesn't matter. The guy that I buy my expedition from every year, I've bought from him since I lived in Texas 30 years ago, because I built a relationship with him and I know he cares about what I'm looking for. The most powerful way to differentiate yourself is be remembered as someone who makes others feel valued. So here's another tip on social media. Go to your Facebook data, under settings, open it up in Notepad. You'll see all your followers and friends. Make that list and save it on your desktop. Every day, go to 5 to 10 people's pages. Like something, add a comment, a post or two, just to keep in touch. Do the same thing on the other social media things. Let people get to know you. People do business with those they know, like, and trust, and remember. And so this way it helps you, when you get a huge list of friends and followers, even, like with me, I have several thousand. I'm at my 5,000 max on Facebook, my 15,000 max on LinkedIn. I have lots of extra followers. But I don't see everybody's posts. So I, on purpose, go to people's pages so I can like and comment and see what they're doing and what's going on in their life, and help to connect and build that relationship and that engagement with them. So connect through some photographs. You've heard the old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So it's easy to connect with others by capturing the world from your viewpoint, and images allow us to connect with one another on a different platform by displaying messages to one another, whether the message is about your experience at a concert, your favorite food. Social media allows others to discover and understand the world through photographs. So, a lot of times I tease and joke about this, about, when social media first came out, some people would say, oh, I don't want to hear and see what you ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? But sometimes it's fun, right? And so, like, an example was a couple weeks ago, I was speaking at a widow's event in Gatlinburg. And so I went to lunch at this brand new farm to table restaurant there. So I took a picture of it, took a picture of us. I posted a little deal about it and a review on the restaurant. And actually, one of my clients, I was speaking to a real estate group like 2 weeks later, and one of the people in the audience there said that she saw my post on social media because she follows me, and she ended up going to Gatlinburg that following weekend, and she went to eat at that restaurant. So that helped the restaurant also, right? So, but sometimes you can just use that to allow people a little bit a part of your personal life. So some people like to share more personal than others, and that's okay, whatever your preference is, but people do connect through pictures. And then you can also connect through hashtags. If you're looking to connect with other social media users, adding a hashtag to the picture you upload is a great way to do so. You can also do that just with text too. So displaying a specific hashtag connects you with more like-minded people. This feature also allows you to share your photo to a wider audience who probably would not have seen the photo without it. And so an example, like if you're at an event, you can do a hashtag. I will do a hashtag. So you've probably seen my dogs running around here. So I have an Italian Mastiff and a Bull Mastiff. Sometimes I will post a cute picture of one of them on social media, and I'll tag that Italian Mastiff or Bull Mastiff. If I click that, then also I can see other people who have used those same tags and kind of connect with people who have those kind of dogs. And it's not everybody that likes big 200-pound dogs running around their house. So, and you can also connect through stories and live. So you can tell a story while being authentic. People love to see the raw and real you. So if your account is public, anyone following you can see these, and some may just pop up and follow you and connect with you, and maybe even do business with you. I highly recommend, if you are in any type of business, your social media pages be public. Every once in a while, if you want to post something that's just for friends and family, you can post that and change the settings for that one post to be private, or just friends and family, or whatever you want. But if you make it public, most of your posts, then people can see you on a business side as well as a personal side. And so you also want to connect with like-minded people. So in any business, reputation management is very important. People are going to look and judge you on who you're surrounded by. And by following like-minded people, you'll find a community that you can grow with and learn from. And so also remember on that, put your best foot forward with your social media profile. Your profile gives people the first impressions of you, so make it count. Your social media picture, your profile picture, should be a picture of just you. It shouldn't have your dogs in it, your cats in it, your kids in it, your spouse in it, nothing. You can post those all day long in your feed. And, and I do that all the time. If you follow me on social media, you can see I post and share lots of different things about my life, personally and professionally. But my social media profile picture is always me. The cover picture could still be your kids. Sometimes I'll do a family shot with my kids, or I'll do some other things. Right now, I think mine is speaking at an event, and it's a quote that I liked. But your actual profile shot should always be just you and a good picture of you. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it either. You can have a friend take it with your cell phone and just get a pretty background, either go somewhere nice or just a blank wall with a pretty background, and you want to make sure your profile is complete and current with professional picture, employment information, relevant qualifications, and credentials. If you look at my social media profiles on Facebook or on LinkedIn, you'll see I have a lot of information there. I've done a lot of things. I have a lot of accolades and a lot of credentials that God's blessed me with. But you want to show those to people that might be checking you out to do business with you. And then, of course, you always want to be honest with the information you provide, especially if you are seeking potential customers and clients. But you just want to be honest, period, right? Because it doesn't matter what you put, it's going to be found out if you don't put something that's, if you put something that's not true. So you want to be truthful. So 3 relationship marketing pros in the world: Mary Kay Ash, Tom Hopkins, and Joe Girard. Most of you have probably heard of all of them, or at least one of them. So Mary Kay Ash from the Mary Kay Cosmetics, most people know that. Everyone has an invisible sign hanging from their neck that says, "Make me feel important." Never forget this message when working with people. I went to an event where Mary Kay was speaking one time, and she said way back when, before she got famous, she was looking up to someone else, and he had wrote a book, and she wanted to meet him. So she got in line and stood in this long line for hours to meet this guy just to shake his hand. And took forever, got up there. Finally, when she got right up at the front, then when she was just so excited, and he looked past her at the long line of people waiting and did not even look at her in her eyes. And, that is huge. She said that she felt so unimportant. And she vowed that she would never make somebody feel like that again. So make sure that you look people in their eyes. She also taught her consultants to write 3 handwritten notes every single night before bed. All those people with the pink Cadillacs that drive around, I guarantee you they use this process. Tom Hopkins, he has some great books out there. The #1 sales trainer and best-selling author on how to master the art of selling anything. If you don't have that book, I highly recommend that you get it and read it. Within 5 years, he went from making less than $50 a month in real estate to building an annual sales volume of over 14 million. And his secret weapon was the thank you note habit. He sent out 10 handwritten thank you cards every single day. He would not go to bed if he did not send out 10 cards. And lots of people say, "Oh, I don't know how to send out 10 cards." And so I'm going to give you some ideas in a moment. But 99% of his business was just by referral within 3 years. Who wouldn't like to have that, right? And so here's some ideas. Thank you for talking with me on the telephone. People don't have to do that, right? They could have sent you to voicemail. So thank them for talking to you and giving you their time. Same thing, thank you for meeting with me. They didn't have to meet with you. They're busy just like you. They didn't have to give you their time. So thank them for that. Thank them for their business. They didn't have to give you their business. They could have did it with anybody else, right? So thank them for it. Thank you for your kind referral. They didn't have to refer you to someone. Thank them for that. Thank you for the excellent service that you have provided for me. Now that one throws everybody for a loop all the time, but I say that, right? So my dry cleaner, they should be thanking me, right? They should send me thank you cards and thank me because I give them lots of money every single month, right? But I send them thank you cards and thank you for the excellent service that you've provided for me. The guys that do my oil changes, I send them thank you cards and brownies to the garage because they've provided me a service. I send thank you cards to the police department with brownies and the fire department and the EMT ambulatory clinic. You know, they don't have to provide that service for us, right? I mean, they do that for a living, but, you know, it's a lot of times an unthankful service too. And so you can thank them for that, for people that do service for you, your dentist, your doctor, anybody that you get a service from. And thank you for taking your time to consider letting me serve you. So after the first refusal, if they tell you no, still thank them for their time of allowing you to offer your business to them. And thank you for taking your time to analyze my services. So even after they bought from someone else, still thank them. I have a story of a BMW car salesperson that she had where the guy came in and he was looking to buy a BMW and they went over all the details and everything, and then he didn't buy from her for whatever reason. She still sent him a thank you card and said, hey, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in to look. If I can ever be of service for you in any way, you know, please let me know. I appreciated getting to know you and your wife. Just little small talk, right? So he ended up buying a BMW from someone else. And he came back to her about a month later and said, you know, I spent, you know, however much money with this other BMW person, and they didn't send me a card. They didn't even tell me thank you, not even a thank you email. But yet you sent me a card and I didn't buy from you. Well, now my wife wants to buy a car this month, and guess what? We're buying from you. So it was worth it for her to send that card, even for a no, right? And thank people for using your product or service, like at a 1-year anniversary, things like that, just to say, hey, how you doing? Your car's 1 year old or whatever. It's just a neat way to, you know, add to keep in touch. Joe Girard was born during the depression of one of the most deplorable ghettos in Detroit. And Joe was in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the world's greatest retail salesman for 12 consecutive years. He sold an average of 6 cars a day and sold over 13,000 cars during his selling career, all at retail, no fleet sales. But what was his secret? He built and maintained relationships. He would send 13 cards a year to each one of his prospects and clients. So about one a month. He would create that top of mind awareness by keeping in touch with them. So he would send thank you cards, cards of encouragement, congratulations, you know, keep in touch with people on social media for their weddings, their babies, their job promotions, birthday cards, holiday cards, season's greetings, Valentine's, helpful news and information, and small gifts to even best customers and referral partners. So back then, an automated system wasn't available at that time. So Joe hired 3 full-time employees to buy his cards and handwrite messages for him. So here's an example of some ideas. You want to reach out in the spirit of building relationships first, 80% of the time. And then you can do marketing about 20% of the time. So this is an example, like for example, if you did 5 greeting cards in a year, you could do thank you for your business, happy birthday, happy Valentine's, happy Thanksgiving. And then here's a bright idea, something about marketing. So you always want to keep it 80% building the relationship and then maybe 20% marketing. So you always want to build your personal brand with friendship, celebration, and service. Your friendship you can develop through text, calls, cards, the web, social media, your email list, your newsletters, your blogs. Celebrate your clients through pictures, gifts, heartfelt messages, and offer stellar service that will not be forgotten. Do good business, 150% over and above, you know, everything that you need to do. Honest, ethical, that is going to be remembered as well. And send personal greeting cards, you know, an opportunity to be remembered by someone that makes other people feel valued. So the same thing, you can do gratitude, just because, birthdays, anniversaries, congratulations, thank yous, sympathies, apologies, holidays, but don't mix those with marketing. So don't tell somebody, like, say if you're a massage therapist, don't tell somebody, oh, happy birthday, come spend money with me and get 50% off. Don't do that, right? So if you want to give something for their birthday, fine, you know, come in and get a massage for free, no strings, happy birthday. You know, that's great, but don't mix it with business. Otherwise that negates the offer that you made, right, to build that relationship. So the cost of retaining an existing customer is 10% the cost of acquiring a new customer. And a 5% improvement in your customer retention equals 25 to 85% improvement in profitability overall. So it's going to reduce your marketing costs. It's going to be easier to upsell existing customers. And nurtured customers make 47% larger purchases than non-nurtured leads, right? So most people, no matter what you sell, you have upsells that you can do for people, and you're going to get more of those upsells or other side sells or things like that if you nurture your customers. And so here's an example of a real estate broker, Jay McHugh. In 2008, he took his real estate brokerage from 5 offices and 47 agents to 14 offices and over 300 agents by implementing a system he calls random acts of kindness. And so back in 2015, he said he was on pace to sell $1 billion of real estate in that, which was a 41% increase in 2 years. So how many cards would you like to send each month to customers, clients, family, and friends if you had a convenient and affordable way to do so? And how many cards do you need to send each day or each month to stay top of mind and be set apart from your competition? Do you say to yourself, I can't afford it? Really, you can't afford not to. So you want to do all these touches that I've talked about: texting, emails, newsletters, social media, blogs, but you can also add greeting cards in there. Just a few sales stats is 48% of salespeople never follow up. 25% make a second contact, 12% make 3 contacts, and only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. But 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% are made on the second, 5% are made on the third, 10% are made on the fourth, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So fortune is in the follow-up, right? You want to keep in touch with people. So here's another example. This is a real estate agent up in Kentucky, and he saw a dentist wrote up in the paper. He took a shot of that, threw it on a card, and sent him a card in the mail with his information on it. So it was just celebrating him, right? Just saying, hey, congratulations. Your customer retention, the cost of the retention of keeping a customer is only 10% of acquiring a new one. So, and once again, the 5% in improvement in your customer retention is going to equal 25 to 85% of improvement in profitability. And 62% of your customers are not taking advantage of all the products or services that you offer. And so once again, you want to build your personal brand. But you also want to remember, is it all about you and the features that you offer, or do you make it about them and how they will benefit? So your product or service means very little without the contents of what it will do for your customer. But remember, people buy stories, ideas, solutions, and strategies. So a couple different stages, you know, is it all about me and how great I am? Is it all about how great our product or service is? Or is it all about you and how can we best serve you? So the 2 most powerful words in the English language are you and your, right? So think about that in anything you do. Is it better that I will provide or you will receive? which sounds better, right? Which one do you like better? So, and the number one reason that customers leave to do business with someone else is just perceived indifference, which means they simply didn't think you cared. There's not any real reason. So when you become a champion note sender, then people are going to believe that you care, that you keep in touch with them. And that same thing with all the other touches that we talked about. And so this is a stat from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And why do clients leave? 1% they die, 3% they move, 5% they buy from a friend, 9% they go to a competitor, 14% are dissatisfied, but 68% is perceived indifference. That means there was just not really a real reason, right? They just didn't believe that you cared. There was no reason to stay with you. And so here's another case study of a window washer. You know, you don't get your windows washed normally every month, right? It's like once every 6 months or once a year. So are you going to remember where you crammed their business card when it's time to get it done again? So this guy, he did a great job. I know, like, and trust him. He offers other services I could have used, like roof and gutter cleaning, walkway, driveway, pressure washing. He had more work than he could handle by himself, and he was wanting to attract more business so he could afford to hire more help and have more time. But I didn't hear from him since May of 2009. So each month that you don't keep contact, you lose 10% of your influence. I repeat those because they're kind of important, so you want to remember those. How are you going to remember his name, and how will I contact him? Will he get my repeat business? Will he get the referrals of my neighbors that I talk to? It costs a lot more to acquire a new customer than it does to retain an existing one. So what are you doing to be remembered by your customers, your prospects, and your referral partners? So here's an idea he could have used. Send 4 stay in touch cards a year, and then 1 that's marketing. So depending on what service you use, maybe about $5 and a little bit of setup time. So, but this guy in a window washer, his service visits yield $200 to $500. Is that worth $5 to keep a customer and attract referrals at the same time? So here's an idea. Each quarter, the customer receives a valuable tip that's relevant to household maintenance needed for that time of the year. For example, a spring card could say, here's my recipe for the cleaning solution that I personally use for streak-free cleaning windows. If you find that you don't have time to clean the windows yourself, I'll be delighted to assist you. Just give me a call. So he's giving his secret for what he does for a living, right? But that's valuable information. But then, you know, if you don't have time to do it or just don't want to do it, give me a call. So that builds that trust also. He's giving away what he does and how he does it, but he's offering to come back and do it. So it's still a marketing message, but it's not a flat out sale marketing message, right? Because he's giving valuable information at the same time. And then the other cards are just a thank you for business and keeping in touch cards. And so did you know, back like what I talked about before, a well-maintained network of only 100 people can lead to millions of dollars in business over time if you keep in touch with them every single month. Doesn't have to be a card every month. Like I said, we can talk, do, you know, emails and texting and in-person and phone and Zoom and Google Hangouts and Starbucks, you know, anything. You want to just keep in touch in different ways. It doesn't always have to be, and it shouldn't be any one way all the time. It should be a different myriad of the different ways. So, but each person in your network can connect you to at least 250 minimum people, right? So if you just counted that, that equates to 25,000 potential connections. And so make a list of your top 100 clients. It could be prospects, it could be friends, it could be family, a list of your 100 people. And you could add people to this list, you could take them off, you can edit it over time. But those 100 people you want to keep in touch with once a month, every single month, differentiate yourself from your competition, and follow a simple, inexpensive plan. Lots of the things I talked about are completely free. You know, texting somebody is free. Use that. You already pay for that with your phone, right? Same thing with social media. That's free. You know, meeting with people in person, that's just your time. Maybe if you spend money at Starbucks or wherever you eat, you know, but you want to keep in touch with that. And so meet in person for coffee, lunch, or dinner. No business. Just get to know each other. It's one thing I talk about, like when you go to networking events, you know, meet people after, meet them for a one-on-one to talk with them and find out more about them, their why for doing what they do, and about them, their personal life, their family life, you know, their goals and dreams. Not about spamming each other on business. Just find out more about each other, because people do business with those they know, like, and trust, right? And so if you don't get value from your one-on-one meetings, the difference is usually in the fundamentals. Without good habits and the right actions before, during, and after the meeting, it's very easy to have your one-on-one meetings come up short of their potential. So you want to schedule your one-on-one meetings with an agreed time. So what I do is I use Google Calendar to set my appointment. I put 2 reminders on it. If it's soon, I do 2 hours before and 30 minutes before. If it's like a week or 2 away, I do 2 days before and 2 hours before. I add their email to the invite, so that way it goes on their calendar and pings their phone to remind them as well. Make sure that you have their cell phone in case anything changes. Reschedule, never cancel. Tell them that morning, text them that morning, reminding them, and tell them that you're looking forward to meeting with them. I almost never get cancellations or get stood up because I keep in touch with people. I do this. I put them on my calendar. It sends them an email. It sends them a reminder. I text them that morning. I tell them if anything changes, no big deal. Text me and let me know. And make it very clear that what you're going to discuss. No business. Like, you can talk a little bit about each other's business to learn how to be a better referral partner, but it's not a time to pitch each other. Find out why they're doing what they do. Is it just to pay the bills? Is it their passion and their heart? You know, find out more about them. And so here, back to the window washer. I can't afford it and I don't have time because I can't afford it and because I don't have time. And it's that vicious cycle. So if you want to break out of that vicious cycle, you have to do something different. So a system saves you significant time, energy, and money. So one thing is you can master the bridge between high tech and personal touch by implementing a system that allows you to stay in touch with your clients and prospects in a personal way and utilizing the convenience of your computer, tablet, or handheld device. So, you know, the window washer, he says, I can't afford not to, but that insanity is doing that same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? If you've been doing the same thing in your business, wanting different results, you know, that's not going to work. You need to do something different to expect better results. So one example is a tool that I use. It's called Send Out Cards. Terry uses that also in his business. So if you're interested, you can connect with him. I've used it for 15 years in my business. Like I said, my business is 100% referral, and I own 5 businesses and 3 nonprofits. You can create real paper greeting cards on the internet without leaving your office, right from your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, or your desktop. You can send card campaigns with a series of cards or personalized to multiple recipients with one click. You can send customized cards with your own graphics, handwriting, your personal signature, and personal message. Send Out Cards does all the labor. They print, address stuff, stamp, and take it to the post office for you. So last year, I sent out holiday cards to over 6,000 business contacts and 271 family and friends. And it took me less than 5 minutes. You can also include gifts or gift cards with your greeting cards. So here's another stat from a real estate agent. Gail and Steve went from 35% to 95% in 1 year by listing and keeping in touch with their top 100. That's the main thing that they did, was they created that top 100 list and then nurtured that list. Here's another real estate agent, Elizabeth Ward Small. One thing that she did is she decided to send out postcards every month and not for her real estate business whatsoever. It was for fundraising for different things that she found that she had a heart in. So like one was collecting coats for the Burlington homeless shelter. She offered to do the work and go by and pick them up. She sent out the postcard, you call in and you text her where to pick them up and all that. Of course, her business was on there, but it wasn't a sales promotion. And so, but it was her keeping her name in front of people's faces and showing them that she was caring for other people. December was the Toys for Tots program. And then February was a food drive. So why multiple contacts, right? The average prospect does not do business with you until they've seen or heard from you at least 7 times. So, and another tip is meet with non-locals or even locals that don't have time or are extremely busy or whatever by Skype, Zoom, Google Hangouts, FaceTimes. So just like we're doing here on Zoom, right? You can keep in touch with people and that way they can watch it whenever they have time. But you can also do it for your one-on-ones. So here's one more study is the Robert Jones Beauty Academy. The challenge for this online membership beauty academy, the members pay monthly and sometimes their credit cards don't go through, right? They expire, they get maxed out, they get hacked, whatever. So 4 emails were sent and a 6% success rate. A postcard was sent, it had 15% success rate. But a greeting card sent with Robert, the owner's photo on it, had a 30% success rate. And the message in the card was identical to the message in the email. But greeting cards are opened 11 more times than any other piece of mail. So here's some just other ideas. Keeping in touch, just because this was a guy that was connecting through the world through music. It was just an event and a little story. Here's the Tangled Whale. It's a note of encouragement. It's just a keep in touch card. Most people know the story about the starfish, you know, the little boy. It's going to make a difference to this one. And he throws it out, right? Just neat little things to send out to people to keep in touch. Here's a Christmas card that I sent out with just a couple clicks. So the law of attraction, what you send out comes back, no matter what you believe. You know, biblical, worldly, whatever, you know, life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you reap is what you sow. What you give, you get. And what you see in others exists in you. So what would that top of mind awareness be worth to you? So lots of people say, I'll do it when I get around to it, right? Quit making the excuses. Here's your round to it. A lot of times when I would present at events, I would have these little wooden things that say round to it. So that way there's your plan, right? And so here's just an idea of, and the greeting card system that I use and that Terry uses, you can do multi-piece campaigns too, where you can create it and send it and then just forget it, but you get remembered. So they can be automatically done for you, automatically sent out, and professionally designed. So remember that automated systems save you significant time, energy, and money. So you can ask Terry about the tool that we use if you want. You can also send gifts to people. So you can send gifts to people with that tool that I talked about, but you can also send them for whatever. A lot of times I find things at stores, closeouts or things like that. The other day there was something that I saw online and it was this body lotion and hand lotion and something else in it. I forget what, but anyways, it was from Greece and it was a 1-day only special, right? And so I ordered like 4 or 5 of those and I gave a couple of those out to close friends and people that I network with just as a gift, just to show appreciation. You know, it doesn't have to spend a lot of money, but you can add that extra touch just to keep in touch. So thanks so much. If you have not read my book, Keep Those Clients, go to my website at lauriedelk.me and you can sign up and get a copy of my digital copy for free. And if you're interested in the tool that I talked about, get back with Terry and he'll go over it with you.
Laurie, thank you so much. You want to unshare your screen so we can look at each other. There we go. So, yeah, thank you so much. And I'm going to share the link so people can download a copy of your book. I've read it. The book is awesome. So you should read that too. I'll put that link in there just below the video. And if anybody's got any questions, be sure to ask them in the group there. Just put them in the comments. Laurie's in the group, and I know she watches things and comments on there. So if you got any questions, ask her, ask me. We're happy to help in any way that we can. The thing that I love the most of all the great things that you talked about, I love the fact that you said to have 100 friends, because so many people get the idea when they meet someone like you who's got 5,000 friends on Facebook, they think everyone has to have 5,000 friends. I can't be a network marketer without having 5,000 friends. And I've been interviewing some really big time salespeople on the Get You Some radio show, car salespeople, and they've been doing it for 20 years. So they've got this long standing group of network that they've been building from, but you don't have to have 5,000. It only takes 100 really committed. So if you've got a few people and you're in touch with them constantly, Aaron, I believe Aaron Walker is a guy here in Nashville, and he talks about, digging digging your river an inch wide and a mile deep. So 100 people every month, in and out. All right.
Absolutely. And keep in touch. Those 100 people they don't have to be business contacts either. They can be, your dentist, your doctor, your kid's gym teacher at school. The thing is, you build that list of 100 people and as you keep in touch with them and build that relationship with them over time, even if they don't ever do business with you, they know other people that will need to do business with you, and they will refer you to them.
And you're talking about sending cards, just cause. I'm going to tell you my just cause reason I'm sending out cards this month. September is National Chicken Month. So I'm sending out, I swear to goodness, I couldn't make it up if it wasn't true. I'm sending out National Chicken Month cards to all my contact. Look for yours. Thanks a bunch, Laurie. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.